Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, and today I'm giving you some more Age of Mythology content. A big disclaimer is that this is my first kind of casted Voobly game. So I'm trying to use the observer mode here so we can actually have a look and see what is going on. And this is against two pro players, ladies and gents. So if you want to get better at Age of Mythology, if you want to see the best players right now, we have two of them right here. And on the left-hand side of the map, we have Matreiuss here, playing as Thor in the blue. And on the right-hand side of the map, we have Husksuppe here. We're going to call him Soup, playing as Set in the red. Now, some interesting things if you don't know too much about Age of Mythology. Thor is a Norse god. And the main thing about Thor is the dwarves. The dwarves are buffed. We can see here, if we right-click on the dwarf, you can see this is if you worship Thor, you get two initial dwarves instead of your two gatherer units. Dwarves are cheaper, and their gather rate's really good on food and wood as well. And also, you get a dwarven armory, which is a different kind of armory building. It's cheaper, and also you get extra upgrades as well, and you can research anything in any age and they have a discount. So Thor is really good at upgrading units, good dwarves as well. And one of the first kind of god power here that we're seeing is the dwarven gold mine for Matreiuss here. And immediately it seems that the meta for Thor is that you immediately put this down now and you just use your two starting dwarves on that gold mine. And Pig Sticker is now coming in. Pig Sticker is a unique upgrade for Thor for the gather rate. If we just have a look, here it is. So both dwarves and gatherers, they get a bonus to the huntable gather rate and also increased pierce damage as well. So that is unique to Thor, and that's coming in right now as well. So at the moment, it's just two dwarves on gold and the rest on food for Matreiuss. Let's have a look at Soup here. So Soup, currently, just most of it is on the granary. We are empowering. Interesting thing with Egyptians, if you don't know, you have priests and you have one pharaoh. Your pharaoh and priests can empower buildings. They can also heal, and they do extra damage to myth units. So this granary here, we are seeing that it is being empowered. And if you right click on the pharaoh here, you can probably see that, yeah, you can see what Set does. So you can see that the empowering of the pharaoh here, it's 75% for the build rate. Anything that's dropped off, you get 20% more, and also the same for upgrades as well, and unit training times, excluding villagers. And you can see Set itself, priests can convert huntable animals. This is the main thing about Set, which is constantly going around with your priest and converting units, essentially, or converting huntables. And we can see that here. That classic noise, that ooh noise, going to be grabbing this water buffalo, and then you can control the water buffalo. Basically put it under a mind control, and you send it back to your TC. So that's how you kind of do it. And that's how you get your good food eco. And it also means it makes Set a very good sieve for turtling, because you can bring all of those hunts in early. You don't have to go out onto the map as much. And also, Egyptians are very good at gathering coin. Coin is a massive part of their eco. All buildings cost coin. You can see the temple here costs 100 coin. Houses are free. Tower upgrades come in automatically when you age up. There's a lot of good things about the Egyptians. Anyway, let's have a look back at Matreiuss here. It is now going to be starting to drop that temple. Let's click the Fog of War on as well so we can see what's happening here. And yes, we do see 4 on wood, of course. 4 on wood, 6 on food, and we've got a few people on coin as well. So very standard. Most of the time with the Norse gods, you kind of want to end your macro on 7-4-4. So 7 food, 4 coin, 4 wood. And that's what we're seeing, which is nice. Okay, we are going to be seeing a wooden wall going down and a house trying to already block off. And this is something that a lot of pro players do that I don't even think about. But it's early walling, ladies and gents. Early walling. Very important. And Matreiuss is doing that, playing quite defensively here. And yeah, looks like it's pretty much it at the moment. And the age up is halfway here, going age upping with the Freya. And now Soup is also just slightly ahead with the Tar age up. Apologies for my voice. I am just recovering from a cold, so I do sound a little bit unusual. We do see, look at that water buffalo there. Using that to also, going to be grabbing another water buffalo. 400 food each for these bad boys. And that's going to be very, very nice. More priests coming out. You want to just continue with the priests. And we are getting an upgrade here from the temple in transition for Soup. And it's called Hands of the Pharaoh. So it says here, you can see 50% extra damage for the Pharaoh. And priests can also pick up relics. And it increases the priest's range as well. And it only costs 75 coin. So it's pretty darn good. And now the age up coming in. And look, we get loads of... Look at all these units of set here coming in. It's interesting noises, man. They're very strange noises. Looks like we do see a Husksuppe coming out here for Matreiuss. Going to be grabbing the anvil of Hephaestus, which reduces the armory and dwarven armory cost. Fantastic for Thor. And now Valkyrie is going to spawn out from that age up. Valkyrie is a myth unit, so priests are going to do some decent damage here. And going to be able to hopefully lock down the water buffalo going in as well. Remember that the animals of Set can attack. You can do whatever you want with them. You can eat them. You can attack with them. You can do whatever you like. And we're going to start to see a little bit of pressure here coming out from Soup. And immediately dropping down a double Rax here. So no kind of turtling going on here for Set right now. And he is going to be getting this granary down here on this side as well. It looks like the priests are going to be working on these hippos. I mean, look at the hippos' damage. Pretty beefy. And immediately, Matreiuss here going to be also dropping down a couple of longhouses. Going to be starting to make the raiding cavalry, which is essentially like the heavy cav of Age of Empires 3. So they do bonus damage against archers. And they do even better damage against throwing axemen. And also the raiding cav siege is a lot higher as well. They get double damage for attacking buildings because they are raiding cavalry. 3 longhouses now going down, which is absolutely mad for Matreiuss here. And we do see the set animals are going to start to work on the hearses. Hearses are going to do insane damage against the animals of Set because they are essentially myth units. And going to be converting more of these hippos, trying to anyway, denying the food here from Matreiuss. And it's getting a little bit messy, and we see just Husksuppe coming back here from Matreiuss, going to try and see what he can do. But yeah, a lot of raiding cav now coming out. We can see a lot of raiding cav is being made here. And the priests going to try and work on the Husksuppe as best they can. 3.3 damage. It's not a lot, but their fire rate's quite high. And they have that extra range as well from that upgrade that they got. Must bear that in mind as well. We're just going to have to just get back here. There's a lot of raiding cav here, and a lot of those set animals, unfortunately, getting lost. We see Soup now going for the pickaxe. It's kind of ideal to get your pickaxe upgrade quite early with the Egyptians because coin is incredibly important. As I mentioned, buildings cost coin. A lot of stuff costs coin. Not a lot of stuff actually costs wood with the Egyptians. And we can see just more on granary here on food. And yeah, we do now see husbandry now coming in from Matreiuss, which is the bonus to herdable animals. So all of the pigs that he's got, he's going to be able to get extra from that. That's very, very nice. And yeah, now we are going to start to see some good old spearmen and axemen here, with a decent amount of priests behind. Raiding cav are going to be able to squeeze by here. 6 movement speed for them. They're going to be able to get away. Spearmen, of course, it's just like classic RTS, guys. Spearmen do bonus damage against cavalry, even extra damage against termers, which are a cav unit from the Atlanteans. Yeah, we're going to see some axemen and further spearmen coming out now. And yeah, it looks like throwing axemen probably is the actual ideal way to go now, switching up the composition. And in this game, it is a bit quicker. It's quicker to switch up composition, ladies and gents. It's a little bit more difficult in Age of Empires 3. Sometimes you've got to commit to a composition. But in Age of Mythology, you can really switch up quick. And you can get units out pretty quickly as well. Yeah, we are seeing a lot of food now coming in for Soup. 27 vils against 22 for Matreiuss here. Got a decent amount of food, though, available. Soup got a lot of food and wood backed up here. Just good. It takes ages getting these hippos. My lord. They take a really long time. So I like this kind of aggression that you can do with Set. Maybe I should play Set. My kind of playstyle, ladies and gents, is like Age 2 aggression, like classical aggression. I like doing all that kind of stuff. Personally. Does someone age up then? I don't know if my UI is working 100%. We are seeing, yeah, the shifting sands. And there is the forest fire, ladies and gents. Something that you could do with Thor. Absolutely huge. It doesn't just burn down your wood line, but it does a lot of AoE damage. And look at that. We can see a lot of damaged units here. Luckily, Soup does have quite a few priests, so he's going to be able to heal those units up. As you can see, the healing's pretty darn quick as well. But I'm not too sure about these defensive kind of plays here, to be honest. I know Boyd was saying about defensive forest fires. It's not ideal, and the reason it's not really that ideal is simply because of the fact it now opens up a huge hole in your base, and you've either got to put a lot of walls down here, and walls are quite expensive. They are 6 coin, or 1 pillar is 3. It costs a lot of coin, basically, to put down a lot of wall. And now he's kind of opened up his base here, as you can see. So, yeah. And you've lost your wood line as well. I mean, there's a lot of wood at the back here, which is quite nice, but, yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. You now see some Axemen trying to see what they can do. Axemen, by the way, ladies and gents, are good against infantry. So, they do triple damage against infantry and Norse heroes as well. So, like, you know, your Husksuppe, for example, they do exceedingly good damage against them. So that's why we're seeing a lot of Axemen and raiding cav here. Look at the amount of cav that Matreiuss has managed to get out here. Kind of insane. A lot of good eco here from the coin. And still a lot of pigs available. He has the herdable upgrade as well, the animal husbandry. Always going to be able to get a nice raid here, though, Soup. Being able to intercept these vills on the ox cart, and that is good night, Vienna, for those vills. Really not ideal. We're starting to see medium spearmen, axemen, and slinger upgrades coming in for Soup now as well. And finally, we're starting to see some armor upgrades coming in for Matreiuss. And yeah, it's this ox cart's probably going to go down. There's a lot of raiding cav here. Something to bear in mind, by the way, guys, if you are from Age of Empires 3, the counters are not as hard-hitting and devastating as Age of Empires 3. The Age of Empires 3 counter system is a lot worse than Age of Mythology. So in some instances, chucking a lot of raiding cav into a few spearmen isn't going to be the end of the world for you, you know. But in Age of Empires 3, it's really not advised. So we've got a lot of action here going on the map. We do now see some medium axemen now. Everyone has unit upgrades here for Soup. Going to be making a nice exchange here. Nice split of the spearmen on the south line against the raiding cav. And the axemen are going to try and do what they can do. But the throwing axemen here are going to actually do quite well against these axemen. Going to be able to do a nice clear up here. Look at the spearmen actually doing some serious damage. Axemen holding their ground as well. Matreiuss is doing pretty darn well with this engagement here. The Valkyrie is still managing to get up. It's on 5 HP. Manages to get away there. And the Pharaoh is trying to do what he can, but the Pharaoh is also going to go down, which is going to be very, very devastating. Because you then got to spawn that baby in. Got to get him back in after this. We see 4 Raxes here for Soup. I didn't even see this before. But it doesn't really cost a lot, as I mentioned. 75 coin for a Rax isn't too bad. And these axemen are going to be able to clear up the spearmen here. We've just got a couple of Wadgets. Now, Wadgets here, they're good against human soldiers, obviously. And they actually don't have a special attack here. No, they don't. They just, yeah, they just don't really have a special attack. They just fling some weird kind of vape into the air. And it's kind of like an AoE spread, I think. Yes, it kind of spreads out in arcs, which is kind of cool. So he's managing to hold off there. Wadgets do cost 150 wood, which is interesting because there's not a lot of things that cost wood to an Egyptian player. So Wadgets are definitely one of them. And you can see there's not a lot of vills on wood here, to be honest. in the grand scheme of things. Wood is the quickest resource to gather in Age of Mythology as well, if you didn't know. Kind of the opposite to Age of Empires 3. Now, slingers are the counter to your throwing axemen here. So, yeah, Soup switching it up once again with the composition. He's going in for the slingers. He needs slinger spearmen here to deal with this, and that's exactly what he's doing. Going to be now dropping a longhouse, a forward longhouse. Look at these Valkyries coming in now as well. They are being created as well. A lot of food income. Do we see? We don't see any farms. I mean, these pigs are just lasting for quite a while here, which is quite nice. And the main reason that is, if we have a look at the villager here very, very quickly, we have this. We have an increased gather rate here. And also, actually, no, that isn't. No, that doesn't actually affect pigs because it's only on huntables. So it is only the husbandry. We can see we get further carrying capacity overall. And the herdable gather rate here is increased. And also the fatten rate, which is interesting. This is one, maybe you guys can let me know down in the comments. It says carrying capacity for food. Does that include farms and huntables? Doesn't specifically say, does it? It just says, in general, 15 food capacity there. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. So it's going to be able to trade a little bit well here, trying to raid Soup's villagers or laborers. Not going to be able to do that. A lot of coin getting backed up for Soup. Now look at this, 1100 coin. What on earth is going on with the eco there? Definitely needs to try and get these huntables if he can. There's a lot of water buffalo here. Maybe he can get over onto the map here, but it's all about map control in Age of Mythology. Very, very important, because those huntables are your quickest gather rate, ladies and gents. Quickest gather rate is huntables. You can see here, if you were to look here, you can see at the top here, this is the base gather rate for everything. And you can see huntables 0.85 versus 0.73 on the herdables and 0.69 on the farms. But look how quick wood is, 1.08. So it's the fastest thing that you can gather in this game. So Axemen here going to be able to clear up those spearmen. Very, very nice. Raiding Cav. Going to try and see what they can do. If they can get on top of the slingers, it's going to be very, very good. Because slingers do absolutely... Look at the damage. They do only 3.3 base, but they do a lot of damage. We can see here, we can see 300% damage against archers and only 200%, so double the damage against axemen, being able to clear them up very, very quickly. And we are going to see some hearses coming in because there's quite a few Wadgets now. Look at all these Valkyries. Valkyrie's absolutely amazing H2 myth unit. 18 base damage. It's able to heal. A lot of hack and pierce armor as well. I love what Matreiuss is doing with the micro there, dancing the Valkyries around. Look at this. Just dancing around here while the Axemen get to work on what they need to do. It's something that I don't normally see, this level of micro in Age of Mythology, especially on the extended edition. Absolutely amazing to see that. And they are actually upgraded Shield Maiden Valkyries now, so they do have that nice aura as well, as you can see. They heal 1 unit for 7.5 a second within 10 range. And this is the upgrade here, the Aurora Borealis. We have an increased heal rate, hack damage, and crush damage as well for those Valkyries. So look, we do have a food issue for Soup. He's probably aware that he has a food issue. I don't know whether it's worth with Set constantly creating animals of Set, because I don't see any farms yet. Nothing whatsoever for Set. So I imagine, I can't say for sure, but I imagine that creating animals of Set, you can create them from the Pharaoh, right? I think it definitely said that about Set. My knowledge of Set is quite limited, I'm not going to lie. We do see copper mail coming in, so increased hack armor for Soup here. Going to hopefully help the slingers a little bit against those raiding Cav. And one fantastic thing about Norse is that most of the military units can build, and we're seeing a forward settlement here. Soup is on 2 TCs, and now finally Matreiuss is on 2 TCs as well. And score is relatively even here. It's really, really back and forth. I absolutely love Age of Mythology. Like, it has so many like skirmishes in one game. Age of Empires 3 is a little bit different. It's kind of one kind of fight, and then most of the time it's over. I like this. We do now see an Age 3 on the way for Soup. It's the Sekhmet upgrade, or not upgrade, sorry, the God of Choice. And we do see Bronze Shield coming in now. And remember, you can get these armor upgrades in any age. Bronze Shield's going to be fantastic for Thor here. Really good against the slingers because there's so many goddamn slingers. Having that extra pierce armor is going to be really, really nice. And it's coming from the Dwarven Armory here. And it's only costing 180 wood and 90 coin. We can see what it does. Look what it does. It reduces the pierce vulnerability here. And look, the original cost is 200 wood and 100 coin. But it's a little bit cheaper. 10%. Very, very nice. We are going to try and get a little raiding party here. Or Matreiuss is going to be able to do it. Yes, he is. Oh, definitely a few dwarves are going to be going down here. Absolutely huge. Maybe 2. Yes, 2. Is it going to be 3 or 4 or 5? I'm not entirely sure. Unfortunately, Matreiuss needs to make a decision. He's just going to beeline it for this TC here. Soup now on 3 TCs. Now the Age 3 is coming in, and there is the God Power, ladies and gents. Switching into that Citadel center. Look at it. And we do see Mercenary Cav coming out. Very, very scary. Look at these Mercenary Cav. They only live up to 35 seconds, but my God, they do a lot of damage, and we're going to be seeing them coming in right now. Going to hopefully be able to clear up. There they are. Look, 11.2 damage. Going to try and work on the Axemen the best they can. A lot of Veals are under fire here. Soup has a lot of resources backed up, to be honest. Probably wants to think about making some units. He needs that coin. And we do now see the Scarab. Look at this, the Age 3 Myth unit. More of the Animals of Set here coming in. And I guess it's not the end of the world if the Animals of Set die, right? Because you could just gather their food afterwards. But yeah, this is a fantastic timing for Soup here. Really, really nice. We are seeing Soup now going immediately for the Shaft Mine, which is the next upgrade for coin. And we're just going to see a trade here. A simple trade. Actually, no, when the set animals die in combat, you can't actually gather from them. So I think a Veal has to kill the set or the Animals of Set to be able to gather from them, which kind of makes sense. But not a terrible trade there for Matreiuss. Score is very, very even. Look at this. We're trying to get a nice little raid on the north side here from the Valkyrie and the Raiders. The Veals, by the way, actually do quite a decent amount of damage. Oh my God, look at all the wood backed up by Soup. 1,000 wood. He's got 1,000 wood backed up, ladies and gents. He needs to sort his macro out ASAP. Sorry, Soup does. Apologies. Soup needs to sort his macro out ASAP, and that's what he's doing. Going to be transferring the majority of Veals over to coin here. And you can see, if we have a quick look, he does now have the Shaft Mine. Look at that, increasing carrying capacity, gather rate. And yeah, we do see a fantastic counter-offensive here by Soup. The Scarab does fantastic work. Look at the crush there. 12 crush, going to be bonus, obviously, against buildings as well. Each swipe is doing 100 HP to that TC. A couple of Veals and Gatherers out. What are they doing? They're just sitting around having a nice jolly. They're going to be going down pretty quick. I'm not too sure what they're doing. And yeah, I don't know what's going on here. There's a lot of Spearmen, not a lot of raiding Cav left, to be honest. And this Scarab managing to get it down is going to unfortunately die. Loads of that lovely purple jam coming out of the Scarab there. And what are all these Gatherers doing? There's so many of them. They're just going to start chopping wood, I guess. I guess that's all you can do in this situation. He is actually managing to hold off, however. And he's actually managing to hold here, but at what cost? Lost the TC here. Does actually have the wood available. Doesn't have the gold, though, to drop the TC back down. So, TCs are a big thing in Age of Mythology because they provide population. Population is very scarce in Age of Mythology. In Retold, I think they're going to increase the population cap, but it's a big thing. Later on in the game, it's a real big thing. And having more TCs mean more army, means more eco, and it's a very, very big part in this game. And a couple of Veals going down there. Nice raiding here. I love this Shield Maiden Valkyrie with the Raider here on this side as well. Just constantly annoying Soup here. So even though Matreiuss is in Age 2 here in Classical, still being able to do a lot here. Remember, it's all about the upgrades as well. What do we see? We see the Bronze Shield. This is the great thing about Thor. you can probably stay in H2 a little longer because of the upgrades you can get. You can get heroic, you can get mythic upgrades whilst being in classical age. However, we are unfortunately going to be customed to the Migdol spam. Something that everyone hates to see when they're playing against Egypt is the spam of the Migdol strongholds. It's starting to happen, ladies and gents. So Matreiuss here needs to try and do something. Are we going to see some upgrades to the spearmen? Are we going to start to see heavy spearmen? Heavy slingers? Priests doing their work on the Valkyries here. Priests, by the way, have absolutely no pierce armor. Raiding Cav on the north side going to be able to interrupt the laborers here. Look at this, the Migdol. Remember, on Age of Mythology, the full HP has to happen for the building to go up. It's not like Age of Empires 3 where it comes up and it's part damaged. Doesn't work like that. And look at this clear up from Matreiuss. Absolutely coming in clutch with those medium raiders doing work on the chariots. And remember, all that chariots are, they're just mobile archers. That's the way you got to look at chariots. So always try and use Cav against those, and medium raiders are definitely the answer. We do see another Migdol on the south, or the Citadel center here. Sorry, apologies. This is a town center converted to a Citadel center. And, oh dear. These vills are going to get absolutely blasted. Lordy, lordy, lordy. This is not good. And finally, we're seeing farms in Matreiuss' base. But Matreiuss only on 1 TC. Look, we've got idols here as well. It's not looking good eco-wise. Really losing the map control here. It's not looking good. And I'm not too sure why he's so far out here with the wood when he could be in base. I'm not too sure. Yeah, a lot of the coin here. Do see another engagement here of the Raiders and the Spearmen. Raiders once again clearing up here. Doing a fantastic job and is going to be able to come in and disrupt once again. They're doing a good job raiding. Actually going to try and take this Migdol down. But it's just going to give up, I think, and try and focus on the army that's here. More raiding cav coming in. I'm so surprised that the Matreiuss still has the food eco here to do this. He's got a lot of wood backed up as well, you can see. 49 gatherers of villagers against 53 for Soup. Now getting in the plow to help with the farms. And remember, Raiders very good against buildings. So going to hopefully be able to get this Migdol down. Another Migdol going to be going in. Remember, they're only 300 coin, ladies and gents. And Soup still has quite a bit of favor as well, 29 favor. And my god, absolutely clearing up here, doing a fantastic job. The Raider throwing axeman seems to be a fantastic composition here against Soup with the chariots. Yeah, I think he might need spearmen. Maybe just spearmen and slinger. Do we need the chariots? Do we need them? Ultimate question. I don't think we do. It's not really helping a great deal. They're quite good against raiding though. They're quite good for raiding. They've got that speed. But remember, 6 speed for the medium raiders, whereas chariots only have 5. And look at this. Going to come under a little bit of a problem here. But there's a lot of raiders here. Look at them coming from the north side. Oh, this is going to be juicy. Strap yourselves in. That's a lot of raiders. Can he hold off with these bunch of raiders here? Does he need to fall back? Looks like he's managing to hold pretty darn well, though. But I don't know. The raiders are chopping through them, though. They're getting through them. And there is the GG. Ladies and gentlemen, Matreiuss actually GGing there. Wow. And I don't know why. You know, I think overall his engagements were better. His fight was a lot better, but the problem is he just lost map control. He's only on 1 TC. Soup here's got 56 villagers against 47 for Matreiuss. Soup's also got an age up on against him as well. It's very, very difficult. Also, farms cost coin as well. Farms cost coin, so you don't really need to worry about wood too much with the Egyptians. I'm being honest with you guys. There's probably a few upgrades here and there that require wood. Let's have a look at some of the eco upgrades. So, yeah, you can see hunting dogs does, husbandry. The gold gather stuff does, of course. This Shaduf here, look at this. Look at this. My lord, look at this. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Look at that. Is a god technology that you get. And look at it. It reduces farm cost by an immense amount. Look at the build rate of the farms is quicker as well. Wow. Yeah, Egypt is very, very scary. Especially with the mid-dole spam. But overall, I think Matreiuss did very well with composition and fighting. It's just couldn't get that map control. Could not get that map control, which was unfortunate. Also, TC placement here. Yeah, I mean, he could have got this. He could have got this TC here, but just couldn't. Just couldn't do it. There we go, guys. I hope you really enjoyed this. Let's have a quick look at the post game. You can see the economy here. Let's have a look at the timeline of total resources. Very, very neck and neck, to be honest with you. Even though Matreiuss was only on 1 TC, kind of insane how quick how good the economy is there. And yeah, let's have a quick look at military units here. Yeah, you can see very, very good fight overall, but just not being able to get... Look at the population as well. Yeah, you can see, look, just not being able to get that map control. Anyway, guys, this has been my first Voobly casted game. I'm still learning a lot about Age of Mythology, all the kind of strategies and all the text, all that kind of nitty-gritty. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about the cast. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of criticism, hopefully all constructive. And of course, guys, I will catch you in the next video or the next stream. And this has been a fantastic game. I've learned a lot. Hopefully you guys have, especially people from Age of Empires 3 as well. And I'll catch you in the next video or the next stream. Catch you later, guys. Bye.